I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about she can't reciprocate feelings or commit. So a lot of times guys make the mistake of pushing for a commitment too soon. Guys, I want you to think about this. When you are starting to get to know somebody, you don't really know who they are and the kind of person they really are. It takes time to get to know them. But when you're willing to commit to a stranger, it's kind of like saying, I don't feel like I have a lot of value to bring to a lot of people, that I'm eager to give you my commitment when I don't know you that well. Okay, so you always want to take your time in getting to know somebody and making sure they're a right fit to be exclusive with. Right? If you're so eager or so willing, you just look desperate in a lot of cases. I constantly hear from women telling me, oh, this guy is hitting on me right away. He's telling me he wants to marry me. We've never even talked on the phone. You know, it's like if you're giving your value away just based on a woman's looks, it's kind of telling her unconsciously that you don't really value yourself as a man and all the things you bring to the table, that you're willing to desperately give away your exclusivity for somebody just based on their looks or who you think they might be. Secure people don't do that. Secure people have a mindset of, yes, I'd be interested in being exclusive with you, but I want to make sure that we are aligned and looking for the same things, that I can trust you, that you're earning my trust, that I'm earning your trust, we're getting to know each other, and that we're likely to be a good fit for each other. So always take your time when you're getting to know a woman, or ladies, when you're getting to know a guy. Don't be so eager to give up exclusivity into the dating pool, because it could come across as too eager or too desperate, and that turns people off. So it's interesting how these dynamics often play out in attraction and dating, especially those first 6 months of dating, where it's really, oh my gosh, I'm having a good time with this person. We're having so much fun. But you don't know really what their mental health is going to be like or their attachment issues are going to be like. So you want to take it slow and see how it goes. See if they're going to invest in you, if you're going to invest in them, and that it's going to work for both of you, right? It's supposed to be a connection that makes both people happy, and you are willing to meet their needs, they're willing to meet your needs, and you're both willing to meet the relationship needs. So I got a good email coaching today that it's interesting how, it seemed like they were going on a lot of dates together, but this woman didn't want to commit to him. Okay, so let's take a look here. I haven't looked at this one in a while. I set it aside, but I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I've had a cold for 3 weeks. So I haven't looked at this one in a while, but I kind of remembered that was a situation here where they were going on a lot of dates. So he says, she moved to my town about 8 months ago and got out of a toxic relationship in the spring of 2023. Okay, so she was in a toxic relationship. It doesn't tell you too much, but it tells you, okay, she may have been traumatized. How bad was it? How long was she with that guy? Are they truly over each other? Have they stopped talking? Have they really moved on? Sometimes, people haven't really moved on and they don't want to tell you that. And that's part of the reason you have to take your time getting to know people. Her past relationships were toxic. Okay, so maybe she's got a pattern here of being attracted to guys that aren't good to her. Something to consider. We dated from roughly early August to the middle of December with no clear breakup. The problems were no fighting, great dates, lots of laughter, good chemistry, and making out. Doesn't seem like any problems there. He put that under the problem section. We share common interests, sense of humor, politics, spiritual and religious beliefs, and career. Well, there's no problems in any of those things he just listed. She avoided sex. Whenever I initiated, she'd pump the brakes. Okay. So this is interesting. What's going on there that she's not wanting to be intimate with him? And everything that he described the relationship sounded really good too. Great dates, lots of laughter, good chemistry, making out, common interest, sense of humor, politics, spiritual, religious beliefs, career. All of that sounded good. Let's go on here, see what's going on. I think what killed the relationship is that I opened her too early. Also, I was the one predominantly pursuing. Okay, I need more information than that. I'm not sure what he's talking about quite yet, because women like to be pursued. Ladies, if you like to be pursued, leave it in the comments, right? It's tough. We guys have to walk a very tight rope when it comes to pursuing, because if you pursue too much, you look desperate. If you don't pursue enough, you don't look interested. So you got to find that balance within yourself. When we're together, everything is great. But when the pressure was on her, things went bad. Of course, okay, so that makes sense. That does make a lot of sense to me. And I talk about this a lot. You know, people don't like pressure. Pressure makes them feel guilty, and they lose attraction a lot of times. Okay, example. Pressure in taking initiative with texting, date planning, or when I open up to her. All right, so maybe it was just going a little too fast for her. Okay, here's the scenario, he says. So through, like I said, kind of early August to middle of October, things went well. In the middle of October, I expressed wanting a relationship. Okay, I'm going to come back to this in a second. She freaked out, citing her newness to the city and just getting out of a relationship. Okay, there's probably truth to those things. I believe those things. And let me say this. Men really are the ones that are supposed to be leading the dating and the setting dates. Women like to be courted. They like to be shown that you're interested. They want to know that you care about them, that you're, interested in moving things forward. And, a lot of times they want a commitment, and there's nothing wrong with that. What I have seen is that it is better for the woman to bring up being exclusive, because men tend to read it a little bit wrong and come on too strong. And if you allow the woman to do it, she's naturally going to do it, and you can't go wrong when she suggests it, right? But you could see, watch what happens here. He said, when I expressed wanting to be in a relationship, she freaked out, okay? So that's why I suggest, ideally, you let the woman bring it up when she's ready, because if she is ready, she's probably going to at least hint to it. You got to look for those hints. She may not come out and directly say it, but she's probably going to hint at it. He says, we decided not to rush things. We continued dating and spending time together. Close to 19 dates total. All right, so that's a good amount of dates, right? 19 dates in roughly from like early August to October. So yeah, that's a good amount of dating. November, nothing happened as she was traveling. We had one date. Okay? I guess she was traveling with friends or work or something. I don't know. In the middle of December, we had our first date in a month. Ending the date, I expressed missing her while she was away. There's nothing really wrong with that. You guys have gone on 19 dates. I think it would be reasonable to say that you miss somebody when you haven't seen them in a month. But what happened? This freaked her out. She said she couldn't reciprocate feelings or commit. All right. So this would be shocking for him, you know. He's missed this woman. They've gone out a lot of times. And now all of a sudden, she's saying, I can't reciprocate, even saying I miss you and can't commit? Uh-oh. What's going on there? She did say she was attracted to me. All right, that's a good sign. And thought we had more than a friendship. That's also a good sign. I asked if it was okay to date others. She agreed, but she didn't want details. Okay. So after 19 dates, she's saying she doesn't want to commit, and she says it's okay to date other people, but she just doesn't want to know what you did. Let's keep going here. No definitive decisions were made. We never agreed to end things, but we were trying to get on the same page. Okay. We decided to postpone the conversation. I texted her the next morning that I was fine not being in a relationship and okay just living in the moment. Okay, that seems fairly reasonable to say. She replied late that she would read and respond to me later. That's suspicious. That's like a one-sentence thing that he wrote here. I'm okay with being in a relationship and living in the moment, and she said she's going to read and respond to that later. I never heard back from her. What do you think is going on, guys? Leave your predictions. Don't wait till the end. What do you think is going on here? I can tell you, it feels like somebody else is in the picture. And, you know, because they had gone like a month without talking, or not, I shouldn't say that, not seeing each other because they're traveling. But what happened while she was traveling? Who was she traveling with? I don't know any of those details. And the big thing that I'm wondering is, what about that ex that was in the picture? Because she kind of brought that up, that she had just gotten out of a relationship. I feel like maybe she was still talking to him. 3 days later, she posted a story on Instagram of her on a date with another guy. Obviously intended for me to see. Okay, well, I don't know if it was intended for you to see, but it was certainly kind of like rubbing it in your face, or, you know, kind of putting it out there for you to see. I would say on some level, she wanted you to know. I decided to go no contact. I posted a few times on Instagram that week. She gave likes on, but never texted me. On Christmas, she texted, "Hey, Franklin," we'll call him Franklin, "wishing you and your family a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Hope you and I can talk soon." Okay. I'm not really liking that Christmas message. I would have liked it more had she not said Happy New Year, because it's almost kind of implying on some level, like, wishing you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year since I won't talk to you. You know what I mean? So it's odd. But then she said, "Hope you and I can talk soon." But it doesn't make any sense, because she was the one that said I was going to message you. Or he was going to message him, right? How does that make any sense? She told him weeks ago, like a week or two ago, that she was going to call him and never did. I don't know. It feels a little gamey here. Plus, we know she was on that date. She posted it on Instagram. I don't know. I'm not liking it. I waited a couple of days and replied, "Thank you. Merry Christmas." Okay. I don't think I would have waited a couple of days to reply to a Merry Christmas message. it comes across as kind of passive aggressive. I mean, I know you're frustrated and you're hurt, and I don't blame you, but I think in this case, since it was Christmas, I would have replied later that day. This is my primary concern with my no contact period, that I blew it with that text. I waited too long to respond, and my message could have been perceived as cold and dismissive. No enthusiasm, and I didn't acknowledge her desire to talk soon. I mean, I don't disagree. What you're saying is true. She probably did perceive it as like you replying late on purpose and not caring because you didn't reply about talking, and you took a couple days just to reply to a Merry Christmas message. So, I mean, I get why you're frustrated, but I could see why it's going to put her off too. She's had past toxic relationships and appears to have an avoidant attachment style and tendencies. Could very well be. I don't see a lot of evidence either way, but I'm leaning towards yes more than anything. So she's likely anxious about confrontation. So I don't see her following up with that talk. I mean, she probably would do like an indirect, direct approach that I talk about, message you about on Instagram or comment on something that you post. Something that probably would not be so scary to her to do, to face rejection. Since then, I've posted on Instagram me doing things I enjoy, such as scuba diving, going to the gym, going to bars, but no indications I'm on dates. In early January, she stopped viewing my Instagram completely. I over-pursued and needed to back off. But there was never actually a split, just that unfinished conversation. Now, I don't know if I appeared mad to her. I mean, honestly, you probably did. I mean, who wouldn't think that you were mad? You took a couple days to reply to a Merry Christmas message. She probably knew that she irritated you or aggravated you. And my guess is that either this ex came back in the picture or some new guy, and she was dating him and her interest went up in him. And so she kind of started fading away to you. And that's why she didn't want to commit or talk about exclusivity. Or if I need to continue waiting forever for her to reach out to me. We only dated 3 months unofficially, so too much time apart might be hard to recover. Well, look, this was kind of on her because, I don't think you really came on too strong by just telling her you missed her. I mean, you had been on like 19 dates at that point. And then you told her you missed her. I mean, that's not a big deal. It's not like you said, I miss you, I love you, I want to marry you, and overwhelmed her. You just said you missed her. But the fact that it freaked her out after 19 dates tells me she wasn't all in this. I think there was another guy in the picture, probably the ex, could be somebody new, but it doesn't sound like to me that she was really over that other situation and she wasn't really ready to date seriously someone new, and probably she just didn't communicate that well because, she was like telling you, oh, we're going to talk with you soon. She said she would respond to you later, that message that you said about living in the moment. Oh, I'll respond to you later. And you never heard back from her. Or at least it took her about over a week until she texted you on Christmas. But she knew that she was taking a while. So don't beat yourself up. I think this woman was or is still stuck on an ex. Or maybe she was casually dating you and other people and found a stronger connection with somebody else. Who knows? We don't know really what happened in that month that she was gone. Maybe when she was on vacation, she hooked up with somebody and then she started feeling attracted to him or having feelings for him. We don't have a lot of information there, so we're missing some puzzle pieces there. But just leave her be and be careful and make sure that if she reaches out, I would kind of hold her accountable a little bit. I might say something like, we were going out quite a bit for, I know it wasn't very long, but we were seeing each other pretty often. And then you said, you didn't want to be official, and you seemed really anxious about commitment or reciprocating feelings. Help me understand what was going on with you. And I would ask her some open-ended questions about what happened there. But I wouldn't be eager to take somebody back that you've gone out that many times with and just kind of shuts you off and doesn't communicate with you. That was selfish of her. And you got to be careful, because if she does this like this now, she might do it again in the future. So I would kind of want to see some transparency from her, that she's going to be honest about what happened, why she did what she did. She's showing remorse for hurting you, for disappointing you, for disappearing on you, and that she genuinely cares about you and what she did to you here. So be careful here, and take more time getting to know her and see what that situation is that had her so reluctant with you. Okay? All right, so hopefully this one's been helpful to you. Of course, if you want to get my help personally, you could do that on my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Skype. You could also get my knowledge workbooks there and my creative healing course. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.